You are listening to Viewpoints from PlaceCloud. Cultural researchers tell stories of places from around the world. For the full multimedia experience and to support the creators you enjoy, visit placecloud.io.
You're standing now outside of the South African Embassy, an important site in the struggle against apartheid in the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom's largest anti-apartheid group was the Anti Apartheid Movement, but it was not the only formally organized anti-apartheid group. Other campaign groups organized around particular methods of combating apartheid, like United Artists Against Apartheid, a musician-led organization that regularly coordinated with the AAM. There were also London-specific groups like the City of London Anti-Apartheid Group, also known as the City Group. The City Group was a radical left-wing group known for, among other things, their continuous picket outside the South African Embassy. The group splintered from the anti-apartheid movement in the mid-1980s under the leadership of an ANC, African National Congress leader, in exile. The group notably included in their ranks former Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn. This group coexisted with the AAM during the 1980s and 90s, and at times attended large-scale AAM events. But at others, they organized their own, some of which the anti-apartheid movement found troublesome from both a PR standpoint and, at times, a moral one. The City Group used London's familiar territory as a space in which to campaign. The City Group was initially an issue-specific protest group seeking to free David Kitson from prison in South Africa. They first organized themselves outside the South African Embassy and sought AAM assistance. They then organized as a local AAM chapter on their own for the City of London and expanded their goals more broadly to release all political prisoners. The group is best known, however, because of how they frequently ran afoul of the national organization's wishes for how, when, and where to conduct their protests. This occasionally created awkward situations for the AAM when dealing with its less radical membership and overseas partners in South Africa. The City Group took its position in London seriously, though. Their main priority was harnessing the anti-apartheid sentiment within London to disrupt diplomatic business done at the South Africa House in Trafalgar Square. The mission was a frequent site of anti-apartheid protests since the formation of the AAM in 1959, but in June 1984, the Metropolitan Police issued what was initially a temporary ban on protest outside the embassy. They cited security concerns for the visits of Prime Minister Botha of South Africa and United States President Ronald Reagan. But in the eyes of the protesters, this was designed to be temporary for an indefinite period, i.e. forever. The City Group responded by organizing a picket across the street from the embassy and then slowly sent members to cross the street into the forbidden protest zone, where they were arrested. Events like this continued in the summer and caused tension between the national AAM, who saw value in maintaining good relations with the capital's police force so that when future demonstrations took place, there was not trouble, and the City Group, who saw value in defying authority and using their spatial advantage to protest wherever possible and whenever possible. The City Group continued to do the protests outside the embassy under the AAM banner after being encouraged not to by the National Executive Committee. This led to their expulsion from the AAM, but was not the end of their organization. The City Group instead escalated their confrontation with the South African Embassy and launched their famed continuous picket. Gavin Brown and Helen Yaffe have argued in their recent book that the continuous picket represented a change in London's political culture that ushered in a different type of activists. Those involved were younger and more diverse, just as London was so becoming. They also argued that London's physical scale was important to the style of protest at the nonstop picket. The sizable pavement allowed picketers to argue against being stopped or detained on right-of-way blockage charges, and that the traffic noise always present at Trafalgar Square helped protesters justify their usage of megaphones against the noise pollution charges. The infrastructure and bustle also exposed protesters to people from all over the country and the globe, which was fundamental to spreading their protest message to as many people as possible. Local space and local conditions were important in understanding the growth and success of anti-apartheid activism in London. And the continuous picket was just one such site where that took place.